Hey, what?
Like yes.
Come here, boy. I want to talk to you.
No, you come here.
Don't hide behind that big old pimple. But you see, our current judicial system would not provide adequate punishment for you. I think you really deserve to suffer.
You better leave my friend alone, or I'm gonna have to properly educate you on how to beat the shit out of somebody. He's gonna whip your ass like you a rented mule.
No, and I think, Junior, if your daddy knew how stupid you were, he'd trade you in for a pet monkey.
You gotta have more than that, son.
Come here, boy. I want to talk to you.
Our story opens with the deaths of two federal agents.
Frank.
Not long after, a third agent, someone who had been investigating pollution in Jackson County, Kentucky, is also found dead. His wrecked car turns up abandoned in the woods, and his body shows 3 stab wounds, with a beer bottle sitting nearby at the scene. Despite these obvious red flags, local police rule his death a simple accident. Because the circumstances feel deeply suspicious, the FBI sends in an agent named Jack Taggart to investigate the case personally. It turns out the third agent who died had actually been Jack's close friend, giving him a deeply personal stake in getting to the truth. Jack starts by carefully reviewing all the existing evidence, trying to figure out exactly where the local investigation went wrong. Once he arrives in town, Jack meets the local priest, who explains what's really been happening beneath the surface of this quiet community. Toxic waste has been secretly dumped into abandoned mine shafts, contaminating both the land and the water supply. The local townspeople are aware of this pollution, but since their livelihoods depend entirely on the mine owners, they've chosen to stay silent rather than risk their jobs, and as a result, they're deeply distrustful of any outsiders who come poking around. Realizing he needs to blend in completely to get anywhere with his investigation, Jack takes up residence in a small room in the church basement and poses as a volunteer carpenter.
Mr. Mama said you might be thirsty.
Your mama's right. What's your name?
Christine.
That's a pretty name. Now, how about you?
Alberta.
And how about you?
Her name's Rose, but she don't talk yet.
She kind of shy.
Yeah.
He becomes a familiar face around town, presenting himself as nothing more than an ordinary repair worker. While fixing a porch for a local family, Jack learns that their young son has fallen seriously ill. Talking with the boy's father, he discovers the illness began shortly after toxic chemicals were dumped directly into the nearby river. This pushes Jack to begin his own quiet investigation. And he starts collecting water samples near the mining site. During one of these visits, he spots a boy urinating into the river and decides to follow him, which leads him straight into a hidden marijuana field, where he encounters the group of locals secretly growing it. Rather than making any arrests, since that isn't his purpose here, Jack simply subdues the group briefly before letting them go and moving on.
You got a pretty mouth, boy.
Oh, my jaw. Some bitch broke my jaw.
The next day at church, a representative from the coal company notices Jack's presence and makes it very clear that his continued presence in town isn't welcome. That night, a group of men break into Jack's room and release 2 rattlesnakes inside, hoping to scare him into leaving town for good. The next morning, unfazed, Jack simply catches both snakes himself and plants them inside the men's truck instead, a truck that later ends up crashing as a direct result.
What the hell? Snake! Got him!
Sneaking. Thought you said you weren't afraid of no snakes.
Well, hell, look who's talking.
Later that same day, the same group of men confront Jack again, sitting on his car and demanding he leave town immediately. Recognizing that the situation is escalating toward real violence and that innocent people could get hurt if this continues, Jack decides to stay put instead of backing down. Using nothing but his bare hands, he confronts the group directly, taking them down one by one with ease.
Oh, my nose.
When the local sheriff attempts to arrest Jack for the resulting disturbance, the town priest intervenes
What? I saw him. They jumped him.
and stops it from happening. Around this time, Jack meets a young woman named Sarah, someone the rest of the town largely avoids and distrusts, since she was once accused of murdering her own father, despite never actually being convicted of the crime. Jack strikes up a genuine friendship with her, despite the priest's earlier warning to keep his distance. The next day, he helps repair Sarah's porch, but her brother, Earl, returns home during the work and reacts with open hostility toward Jack's presence. After Jack leaves, Earl makes it clear to Sarah that he doesn't want this stranger coming back around the house or doing any more work there, voicing a deep, unexplained suspicion toward him. Not long after, Jack gives an elderly man a ride home, and during their conversation, the man reveals that he was actually the original source who contacted the Environmental Protection Agency and set this entire investigation into motion. Outside shortly afterward, the sheriff and his men once again surround Jack, attempting to arrest him, this time claiming he assaulted and injured several people. Jack tells them plainly that he's a federal agent.
You know who I am? I can arrest you just as easy as you can arrest me.
But they refuse to believe him. In response, Jack disarms them entirely, taking their weapons before eventually handing them back and warning them to keep their distance going forward.
Cuff him.
Now, how you want to do this? I'll have 300 agents come up here into this little hick town and crawl up every orifice you got.
Let's go, boys.
That night, Jack attends a local country music concert. There, he witnesses the son of the coal company owner, a man named Hanner, harassing Sarah, and Jack immediately steps in to intervene on her behalf, forcing the harasser to back off and apologize.
You know, normally, when a man insults a woman like that, he insults the man she's with.
Government agent man. Come to take out our community trash. Out.
I said turn him loose.
Now, I want you to apologize to the lady.
I apologize, Miss Sarah.
Mr. Hanner, I'd like to see you, Mr. Taggart.
Well, that would be just fine. Where is he? Give me just a second, babe.
Watching this unfold, the elder Hanner later attempts to bribe Jack directly, offering him money to abandon his investigation entirely. Jack firmly refuses the offer. Before leaving, he warns Hanner directly that he'll be held fully responsible if it turns out he had any involvement in the death of Jack's murdered friend. Furious and rattled, Hanner then instructs his son to have Jack killed.
This guy's trouble.
See, that's what I was trying
Shut up. Field, and I want Taggart buried inside it.
The next day, a company truck attempts to run Jack off the road. Jack survives the attack, but the truck's driver ends up dying when the vehicle veers off a cliff during the failed attempt. Later, the town priest reveals a darker truth to Jack about Sarah's family history. Her brother Earl had actually killed their own father, after their father discovered that Earl had been abusing Sarah for years. That same night, Earl, now revealed to be working directly for Hanner, sneaks into the church and deliberately starts a fire, hoping to derail the ongoing investigation. Tragically, the fire ends up killing the town priest in the process. Afterward, Earl approaches Jack, pretending he wants to help expose Hanner's crimes, and convinces Jack to accompany him out to the mine together. But this turns out to be a trap. After walking only a short distance, Earl leads Jack directly into an ambush, where Hanner's son and a group of hired gunmen are waiting for him. A violent gunfight erupts.
Oh, this is Mr. Taggart. I know my sister likes you, too. That's why I'm not gonna kill you. Randall, you do it.
Hanner's son attempts to trap Jack deep inside the mine as it begins collapsing around them, but Jack manages to fight his way out. In the chaos, Earl and several of the hired men end up killed. Having gathered enough solid evidence, and with Sarah now willing to testify against Hanner, Jack contacts the FBI directly and requests formal protection for her safety. However, the agents who show up turn out to be corrupt themselves, secretly working for Hanner. Jack recognizes this immediately and confronts them at a gas station, ultimately killing one of the corrupt agents inside a nearby diner. He spares the life of the second agent, instead sending him back to Hanner with a clear, direct warning. Jack later discovers that even his own supervisor within the agency has been secretly complicit with Hanner's operation all along. His boss instructs Hanner to turn himself in voluntarily, hoping to limit the overall damage and fallout from the scandal. When Hanner does eventually confess, he receives only a minor penalty related strictly to the pollution charges. Jack makes it clear that Hanner will still face full murder charges regardless of any lenient plea deal his boss tried to arrange. In the end, Jack exposes his own corrupt supervisor's involvement in the cover-up and has him formally arrested as well. Jack then returns to Jackson County and confronts Hanner's son and his remaining group of men directly inside a local bar. After being thoroughly beaten, Hanner's son agrees to testify against his own father in exchange for having his own charges dropped entirely. Jack then tracks down Hanner Sr. himself at a local casino. When Hanner's bodyguards attempt to stop him, Jack fights through them and confronts Hanner directly, finding him seated comfortably among a group of other wealthy associates. Realizing he's about to be sent to federal prison, Hanner pulls out a gun in a final act of desperation. Jack shoots him in the shoulder, stopping him before he can do any real damage, and Hanner is finally placed under arrest. With everything finally resolved, Jack returns to Kentucky one more time and reunites with Sarah. So friends, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.